Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Let's have a look at a daily challenge problem, problem 944. Delete columns to make sorted. This is an easy problem marked by Leetcode, and indeed its logic is very straightforward. So in this video, basically we want to convert or practice the pattern of passing argument to a function, and also the use of the function zip and the method or function sorted. So with that said, let me first read through the problem statement to digest the requirement, and then we share two formats of solution. So first, the statement. We are given an array of n strings called strings. All of them have having the same length. The strings can be arranged such that there is a 1 on each line, making a grid. For example, if this is a list of strings, then the corresponding grid or matrix is like this. So if we look at from top to bottom, so we know the first column is ABC, and the second column is BCA, and the third column is CEE, and the second column is not in sorted order. Therefore, the number of columns that we need to delete according to this problem is 1. So that's the main requirement. So we want to delete the columns that are not sorted lexicographically, and then we want to return the numbers or the counting. So in example 1, so the output is 1. So for example, CDG is in sorted order, BAH is not, right? AFI is, so we return 1. So in the second one, because we have AB, so and this is in sorted order, so the output is 0. So similarly, you can examine example 3. So all the 3 columns are not in sorted order, therefore we return 3. So here are the constraints or additional assumptions for this problem. First, the string's length is bounded above by 100, so this is not a very large number. And each element in the string is bounded in length by 1000, right? So these two actually together confine the problem size. So lastly, so each string in the list consists of lowercase English letters only. So with that said, we are ready to do the coding. So we are going to provide two formats of coding for this easy problem. First, I'm going to do a brute force way, and then we explain the use of zip and a way of passing argument to a function using the star operator. So first, let me initialize a result variable. This is to count how many columns are not in sorted order. And then, so we are going to do iterations, right? So we can first get the number of columns. So that is the length of strings. So let's choose any of its elements. Let's choose 0. And then we're going to do the iteration. So for each column, we're going to check if that column corresponding to a string or a list, and if it's in a sorted order, right? So we're going to do this for car in range, that's the number of columns. And then we're going to introduce a temporary variable called aux. It's going to hold the columns. And then for s in strings, so we're going to retrieve the corresponding character in each position. So we're going to use aux append, so s this index as column, right? So next, once we do this for this iteration, so what we're going to do is to check, right? If sorted aux equals aux, because the sorted will return a list, right? So we check if the two lists are the same. So if not the same, we are going to increment the counting by 1. Then finally, we just need to return the full counting, or the final counting. So this is the one way of looking at this problem or writing the code. So let's do a check. Yeah, it passes one example. Now let's look at the generic case. Yeah, it passes all the cases. So this is basically a very standard solution. So let me copy this function signature and then I'm going to write the second format. So I'm going to use the zip function. So we can use the zip function and the star operator to make a great transpose, right? So what we are going to do is that, so we're going to do this, pass this zip function to this string. So this actually give us an iterable. So this iterable will consist of tuples like A, B, C, B, C, E, C, E, E for this example, right? So then we just need to iterate, right? So for item in this one. So then what we're going to do is to check if it's in sorted order. So we're going to sort it. So this will give us a list, and then we're going to check. We are going to use type conversion. So we convert this item to be a list so that we can do the comparison. If not, so we're going to increment this result or the counting by 1, and then we can do the return. For sure, if we want to further shorten this code, that's quite possible. That's let's see, it's straightforward. But here, I guess the point we want to emphasize is this way of passing the argument to this function, and also here we used this sorted function. So this is the function. Or sometimes we can also use a list. Let's see the sort method, right? So that's two related things. So with that said, let's look at or examine this format of solution. Yeah, it passes this one. Now let's look at the generic case. Yeah, it passes all the test cases. So with that said, so I guess that's about it for this specific daily challenge problem. Let me emphasize again. So here the purpose is to practice the pattern of passing arguments to a function, right? So here it's passing as a tuple, right? And so then unpack that. And also we explain the use of the specific function zip and sorted. With that said, I guess that's it for this video. Thank you.